Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Well, Deputy Speaker, life in a growth corridor is often complex. There are challenges and there are great opportunities. One of the challenges of life in a growth corridor is keeping up with infrastructure, and that's why I was so pleased to stand with Minister Catherine King to announce a $125 million funding for the M1 Werribee Main Road interchange. This will see a redevelopment of an 80-year-old interchange turned into a double-lane bridge and relieve people trying to get off the M1 to return home to their homes in Wyndham Vale and Manor Lakes past the Werribee exit. It's an extraordinary thing to have the privilege to make those announcements, and I want to thank all of the members of my community who've contacted me across the last 12 months to alert me to the danger that has been happening as people have been banking up in the emergency lane because Geelong traffic has the right-of-way there. So this modernisation of this will work for the first half of the Wyndham link to make sure that the Ison Road Bridge traffic can move quickly through. And I can't stress how much we need to get that work started to ensure the safety of locals. We also announced a $47.15 million commitment to untangle a very complex intersection on Bolan Road, on the corners of Bolan Road, Greens Road and McGraths Road, which is currently a large roundabout. It will be getting traffic lights and a modernisation, as well as some care and concern about the people riding and pedestrians using the area as well. Both great announcements and really proud. Thank you to all those who've alerted me to the congestion issues, and I'm pleased to be part of a government that has heard that and is going to be part of delivering that solution. The other thing that I wanted to talk about tonight is to put some context around what the Albanese Labor government has been doing in health. And let's just go through what that context is. Now, we know those opposite need to find $600 billion supposedly for their nuclear fantasy, and we know that they're talking about cutting $350 billion out of the budget if they win government. And I know that they once famously said no cuts to health before they cut $50 billion from hospitals, from national partnerships. I know that they tried to introduce a GP tax and that we beat that back from opposition. So then, in response, they froze the Medicare levy for 4 years. The current leader of the opposition was responsible for that, followed up by the former Prime Minister and then Health Minister Scott Morrison extending that freeze for 2 years. They actively undermined our world-renowned universal healthcare system. They tried to Americanise our healthcare system, and they would do it again. And don't take my word for it. We've seen it. They've got form. But locally, they did something that I will find always hard to forgive. They cut Wyndham out of the priority area for the training of international doctors to Australian registration. This led to a 30% reduction in GPs in my community. A 30% reduction. This Labor government has reinstated that, and we've seen the number of GPs rise again in response in this first term. We've introduced cheaper medicines. We've done $500 million for women's health. Also, not only have we reinstated that priority area, in government they delivered MRI Medicare rebated licences to Geelong, who already had them, while ignoring Wyndham and the whole of the west of Melbourne, who don't have any until you get to Sunshine. This government has fixed that. In 2025, we will have a local MRI rebated licence, followed up by a second one in 2026. So this government is delivering. We've tripled the bulk billing incentive. We've got an urgent care clinic. We've opened 87 across the country. There is one in Werribee. So those opposite, if given an opportunity, will decimate healthcare, decimate Medicare, decimate hospital funding, and do the small things that cut into our capacity to offer universal health. universal health care, something we on this side are very proud of, something Australians rely on. Thank you, Deputy Speaker.